Strand is the weakest subclass for hunters. I said it. I said it. Some of y'all probably gonna hate that take. It is not a hot take because all the updates we got in this sandbox now, I can confidently say Strand Hunter is probably the weakest. Simply because Strand Hunter lacks lethality. It lacks lethality. It can't really handle things very well when it comes to deadliness. Like we do the grapple melee, on prismatic, obviously, right? And then Strand Hunter just here. Cause they don't have the grapple melee combo. You need combination blow and stuff. Strand Hunter is just here. Right? So it's very weak compared to its counterparts like Strand Titan using their Frenzy Blade in the air like they freaking Wolverine, and Warlock spamming Threadlings all day. So what do hunters got to be lethal on freaking Strand? Is basically what I'm saying. But as y'all can see, I'm in negative 50 putting in work because I found a way. I found a way to make this class do something better for us so we can take it to negative 50 and don't feel like Strand Hunter is just useless and hard to end content and never be able to be used ever again because this is the last update. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Strand Hunter definitely have it rough. You will literally have to know what you're doing on Strand Hunter to get a lot going for yourself. I'm just gonna keep it straight with you. Compared to the other classes, Strand Hunter got to rely off a lot of moving parts of you juggling a lot of things. As you can see, like right now, like they trying to hold me for real. I ain't gonna let it happen though, but like they trying to. And I'm doing so much, the game freezing up and stuff on me, bro. But you have to do a lot on Hunter. You have to do a lot on Strand Hunter, or you just won't succeed. So I just wanted to showcase it to you guys right here in negative 50, so you guys know. I'm probably gonna die to the freaking thing right there to hit me. Get the orb, get the orb. Alright. Freaking jetpack on the on the champion blew up on me. Okay, back to what I said too. Not only is Strand Hunter kind of mid a bit, it also get outshined by the weapon y'all see me using, Festival Flight. Everything you want to do on the Strand Hunter right now, you technically can get away with by just using Festival Flight. And that just, even though that sucks to say, that's just the truth of the matter. But Festival Flight really helps Strand Hunter out to be able to get the job done. So after I clean these up, I'm going to show you guys, you know, what we cooking in this build. And I got another Strand Hunter build for you guys that can cook too. That's probably a little bit more deadly than this. Who knows? I don't know. I think I'm cooking a lot with this build right here. I haven't even popped my super yet. Like, that's how much I don't care much about it. Wrong weapon. There you go. Suspend everything. Put clones out non-stop so they're not focused on me severing everything. You know, unraveling everything. Tangle's doing dumb damage. It's just a sight to behold, to be honest. Change step. Yep. Change step again. Sever. Sever. Change step again. And I did try to do a lot of different things with this build, but it just wasn't cooking for real. This is the only way you can play Strand Hunter in like hard to end content. Some of y'all may not like it because it's kind of basic. I ain't gonna lie, it's kind of basic, but let's get to it. Let's get to the build, man. What up, guys? Alchemist, I got something nice for you. So this the Strand build, and as you can see, negative 50 content, you can do good with it. But disclaimer, like I said, a lot of stuff you're doing in Strand Hunter right now, you can literally just do with Festival Flight, with Slice, and Attrition Orb, okay? And not only that, as y'all seen, I almost died in there because Strand Hunter is a lot of moving parts. You got to be swapping your weapons non-stop. You can't just spam abilities like other builds that can lead you to success. You got to know how to swap your weapons non-stop and spam ability to stay alive in the mix as well. But also, too, you got to stay grounded. I guess that's the best way to say it. If you're not in the mix and making sure you keep your whip and mail on non-stop and whatnot, the moment that whip and mail go off, you're defenseless. The enemies can kill you immediately. So you got to stay within the mix 24/7. So the hardest thing about Strand Hunter is literally the engagement. You got to get your goddamn Wolfen Mail immediately. So you got to sever an enemy and then immediately kill them, get the Wolfen Mail started so you get to cooking. Okay? If you don't get that started, if you don't get the gears moving, Strand Hunter is bad compared to its competitors on the other subclasses. But let's get into this. First off, I wanted to use a unique exotic. I wanted to use Morai for this build, but it wasn't cooking for real. It just wasn't cooking for real. You want the extra tangles in this build, but it just wasn't cooking for real in the harder end content. Lower end content, you can use it, but higher end content is not cooking. And then I wanted to use Balance of Power, but because of how long it takes to get your Shade Step back, it wasn't cooking either. So we had to go to the old reliable Speed Loader Slacks. Okay, as y'all know, as you do a lot of tick damage, you get your Shade Step back quicker, so you can spam your Shade Step non-stop. So kind of similar to Gunslinger build with spamming Crack Shot. In this build, you're spamming your Shade Step because it makes a shadow clone, and putting shadow clones out make it that the enemies aren't looking at you, they're looking at the clones. And if you're doing a lot of tick damage with Unraveling and the Festival Flight tick damage and stuff, and Joke and all the types of stuff in this build, they'll never be looking at you. You'll be putting out infinite shadow clones, and you'll be able to live tail to tail, basically. So that's the exotic armor we're using. Stats you on this build. You just need 100 class stat. Going above that, just give you an overshield for more survivability, which you can go for. But you just want 100 class stat, 70 melee stat, and then pour the rest into weapon stat if you can. That's all you really want. As you can see, I don't have the perfect stats I want, but it still works. Okay. Now, the armor set you want for this build. Like I said, hunters, what Strand Hunter like is lethality. We tickle people. We tickle me, Emma. That tickles. That's what we do with Strand Hunter. We do a lot of multiple tricks and stuff on Strand Hunter, but it ain't lethal. It ain't doing no damage for real compared to Titan doing the little frenzy blade in the air and Warlock spamming threat lanes and doing dumb damage. Hunters don't have anything that do real damage on Strand. Okay, again, like I said, grapple melee is on Prismatic, not Strand. Okay, so Strand Hunter just, you doing a lot of tricks, but you ain't getting nothing done. So this armor set, Yearning Echo, changes that for us. This is the armor set from Grass of Avarice. Just do the dungeon and get yourself the armor pieces, right? So what the two piece do on here is picking up Ore Power, Ammo, Elemental Pickups, or Tangle, grant stacks of Unfold Greed, slightly reducing damage taken and providing reload speed to equipped weapons. When your shields are broken, some stacks are lost. So you lose 10 stacks, I believe, when you get your armor broken. The damage reduction you get from this is 20%. So decent damage reduction. Nothing crazy, but 20% is something to not, you know, scoff at. But we mostly here for the 4-piece. While you have stacks of Untold Greed, Orbs of Power and Elements to pick up provide more of their respective energy, and Strand Tangles deal increased damage. When your shields are broken, all stacks are converted into a fountain of Orbs of Power. So, if you're wondering, how much are we talking when it comes to the damage increase with the Tangle? Let me show you guys. So if I kill this goblin right here, make a Tangle, and then we're gonna put this robot back out. Y'all gonna see that when I throw this Tangle at the robot, we're gonna do just get some stacks of greed right now to show you guys. When I throw this Tangle at the robot, it's going to do 18 damage. Oh, my bad. It's doing 81 because I threw the Tangle with maybe good more stacks. When you go to greed times 5, that's when the Tangle do 81 damage. Without these stacks, as you see, when I took the damage, 4 Orbs of Power came out, which you can pick up to continue your greeds. But as you can see, when I do a regular Tangle on the robot, when I do a regular Tangle on the robot, I'm only going to do 18 damage when I have little stacks. You see? 18. So literally, this armor set increases our damage of our Tangle by 350%. 350%. And all you need is 5 stacks of greed to get that 350%. Picking up a tangle and throwing it literally give you 2 stacks. Picking up order power give you 1 stack. The stacks go up to 100. When you get damaged, you lose 10 stacks. Would make order power for you to pick up them orbs again. We give you 4 more stacks. But technically, you only need 5 greed. You only need 5 greed for the 20% damage reduction and the 350% tangle damage. That works on our Beyblade, as you can see. So that's how we're going to add lethality inside this build and harder end content. As y'all seen what I did in the -50 earlier in the video. Them tangles was eating them boys up. So this is the armor set you want to run on Strand Hunter if you want to put a dent in -50 without doing like some like mixtures of things to get, you know, collabs of things and exotics and whatnot to get anything unique going on. If you want to do pure Strand Hunter, this is what you want to use to get some lethality into the build so it's not feeling weak. Okay. Weapons we're using, Festival Flight. This helping that we get our shade step back quicker. If you don't want Festival Flight, because again, you can do slice, sever on enemies on your own. You can pick a different area denial grenade launcher. You can put the stasis one, I believe. I don't know if you can pull. I don't know if you can pull off frost armor with the stasis. If you can, then hey, go for it. But any area denial grenade launcher, basically. And then we're rocking an arc submachine gun. It don't have to be a submachine gun. Only thing you need is jolting feedback. Jolting feedback allows us to apply jolt to an enemy, and that's going to be an arc debuff we put in the build for us to get amplified. Okay, which we're going to talk about more in a minute. And then of course, Truth is for DPS to bosses and taking out champions and stuff quick and whatnot. So we're using Truth. Now, artifact. We're using Defibrillating Blast. Stunning a champion grants maximum stacks of bolt charge, damaging targets with a bolt charge. Bolts jolt them and heals you. So this helps us take champions out quicker, and this gonna help us get amplified in the build as we continue down the list. We got 2 shreds. Defeat dealing sustained damage to severed targets, unravels them. Defeating a severed target creates a hotspot of strand energy, which y'all kept seeing with the Wolf and Mail. Every time I get near it or my teammates, we get Wolf and Mail for 10 seconds. And Wolf and Mail damage resistance is 45%, if I remember correctly. 40 or 45%. I'll throw it on the screen. Then we got Viability. Targets hit by your tangle are severed. That's the main thing we really care about in this part. Targets hit by your tangles are severed. So now, whenever we throw our Beyblade at somebody, it severs them, and if it kills them, which it will do because of the juiced up armor set we got on, it'll make a Wolf and Mail spot for us to stand at. Not only to get Wolf and Mail, but the hotspot also give us HP too as every time it pulsate. So it's good to camp near them pulsations of you killing a group of enemies that make the Wolf and Mail hotspot, because then you're basically unkillable as you're near them hotspots as long as they're there. Okay, so you got, again, Strand is the hardest build to use on hunters for harder end content, because you gotta know your movements. It's actions per minute. That's the whole point of Strand for every subclass, and hunters put it to on 10. Okay, you gotta know how to position yourself and play as a Strand Hunter if you really want to be able to use it in -50 content. So, and then also second part said reduce tangle cooldown, picking up 1. So this helps make tangles quicker, which is very important as well for the Beyblades. We have a Horror Shuttle, damaging unraveled targets with a weapon, occasionally spawns threatlings. They'll be getting unraveled from the Beyblade, and for us having unravel the orb zone where our strand weapon put unraveling in them and stuff. Unraveling will be on everything. The Beyblade make unraveling, our strand weapon doing unraveling. Unraveling will be everywhere. And then dealing damage to severed targets, unravel them, like unraveling everything. So when you deal damage to these unraveled targets, it makes threatlings. And then threatlings now can sever targets. So if you don't want to use Festival Flight, I highly recommend, or you don't want to use a heavy like Truth, I highly recommend you're using a weapon that got Hatchling on it that makes threatlings for you to keep the sever going. Or you can use the exotic machine gun, came out last season with Renegade, the exotic Strand machine gun that can make freaking nests that make threatlings keep coming out. That one, if you're a fan of that, you can use that, but just be wary. If you use that machine gun, you won't have any DPS option in your build. Truth is definitely the truth. Okay, it's gonna do DPS for you against bosses and stuff for you. You got flashover on, so we do get maximum bolt charges from stunning champions, like we just talked about earlier. We will get amplified, making survivability more better for us, putting out clones, amplify, making them miss some shots, and with damage resistance 15% with the weapon mail, survive even longer. And the lightning bolts deal more damage, so the bolt charge that we do when we do unraveling to enemies and stuff and whatnot, on top of the bolt charges we're gonna be getting, will be doing dumb damage. And then we got dielectric on, where defeating art debuffs targets grant bolt charge. That's why I say having a volt shot or a jolting feedback weapon really helps with the power fantasy in this build, because you'll be able to get bolt charge get amplified, and then unraveling really help bolt charge stack up very fast. Same thing with Festival of Flight. So literally you just need one art debuff kill and you're golden. Basically you're golden, and the loop gonna continue going on, because the Fibbling Blast literally said damage charge with bolt charge jokes them. So you'll be able to do an infinite loop with that 24/7 to keep staying amplified non-stop and getting your health back from doing said things. Okay. And then again, like I said, unraveling orbs. Subclass, we're using Gambler's Die, so we get our 30 spike back whenever we want. And then plus speed slack is reloading our weapons anyway, so there's no reason to use Marksman Dodge unless you want to shorter cooldown your shade step, but it's not necessary. Okay. 30 spike, throw this into a group of enemies, it always will sever them, and then you can kill them to make a Wolverine Mail hotspot out there. But also too, they did buff on 30 spike. If you kill an enemy with 30 spike, and make sure you grab the threaded spike after you kill them, you will get Wolven Mail. So if I weaken this goblin and then I throw this to kill them, and then I make sure I grab the threaded spike back, I got Wolven Mail for 10 seconds. So that is the buff they did. This does not work on Prismatic. This is only on Strand. But if you kill somebody with 30 spike and grab the 30 spike back, you do get Wolven Mail. I'm pretty sure they said it's supposed to be on melee hits, but say la vie, that's just where it is now. We got on Shackle Grenade because I want to be able to mobilize enemies whenever I want, so just suspend them. We have no reason to throw a Threadling Grenade on, but if you do, Threadling Grenades is good because it will sever the enemies, because Threadling sever enemies kill the artifact. So you can throw on Threadling Grenade and throw it in a group of enemies, and it will help you out to sever people immediately. You can put on the new grenade, Slice Wire Grenade, and it will sever people immediately, and then you can kill them. So you can't go between those two. I don't recommend Grapple Grenade, but you can if you want to. But these two really have synergy with the build because they immediately sever people. But again, I like to be able to unstoppables or just string up a tanky enemy and then have my way with them. Can't do nothing about me. Have my way with them with Shackle Grenade just to mobilize enemies better for more survivability. Then we got on Whirling Maelstrom. This would make our Tangle do Beyblade and then unraveling with it. And it do dumb damage. That's the whole point of the build. And then we got 30 Spectre on to put out Shadow Clone Decoy so that you know, the enemies get distracted by them. But also too, whenever the decoy take damage or it detonates, it does put out Threatlings, and them Threatlings gonna sever. So add more severing to the build if you can kill them to keep the Wolven Mail hotspots out there to stay alive even longer. Fragment, Thread of Fury, damaging target with a tangle grants melee energy. So our Beyblade is considered tangle damage all the time, so this will give us non-stop melee energy, so you're gonna be able to spam your threaded spike, your threaded spike 24/7 in this build. We got on Threaded Generation, so dealing damage gives grenade energy back, so I can spam the Shackle Grenades even more to immobilize enemies. We have on Threaded Evolution, so Threadlings travel further and do 33% more damage. We have on Thread of Mind, so whenever I do kill an enemy that's suspended, I get class ability energy, so I can spam a Shade Step even more. And then we have Thread of Continuity on, so suspend, unravel, and sever stay on even longer. You can take off Thread of the Mind and put on something like Thread of Isolation. So if you're doing precision damage, you sever enemies and then you can unravel them, which help out more with the combo. You can put on freaking Thread of Rebirth, where Strand Weapon final kills like a Threadling. If you're killing people with the, you know, freaking Air Denial Grenade Launcher, that'll make even more Threadlings than them Threadlings do sever. You definitely can pick between those two, okay? You do not need Thread of Mind on because you will be getting class ability energy a lot anyway. So, dealer's choice. Armor mods, we got 2 special armor finds, so we always have Festival Flight ammo. We got 1 Harmonic Siphon, so when Festival Flight kill people, we'll get an Orb Power out there. We got on Impact Induction, Focusing Strike. Shout out to the person that just subscribed. Love you guys. And we got Momentum Transfer on. This helps you get all our abilities back quicker. Class ability back quicker. Grenade quicker. Melee quicker. Hey, shout out to y'all. Hey, much love to y'all. We got Resist mods on our chest piece. We got on Strand Weapon Surge to make Festival Flight do even more damage. Golly, thank you. And then we got Strand Scavenger. We make that we get more ammo picking up special bricks. And then we got better already to make our health regen even more. When they pick up ore power, start health regen. Then we got Reaper, distribution, and powerful attraction. Pick up ores for your shade steps because we're gonna be spamming all day. Reaper, kill somebody, and then distribution, picking up ore. I mean, we get ability energy for all our abilities. You know, from chase stepping near people. Dang, everybody's subscribing. Golly. Shout out to everybody in the video. Okay. That's the full build, guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. Love you guys. Appreciate you as always. I will be making another strand build. So don't worry. I will be making another strand build. And it's going to be good. Until next time, stay up. I mean, this one's good too, but you know. Dang, I gotta leave. All right.